This is what Michael Jackson recorded his vocals on, by the way.
Is it really?
Yeah. This is what totally. Yeah.
These mics. The Shure, the what is it called? The DB what?
SM7B.
All right, shit. Well, shit, say less. You should have led with that. Mike's using it. I'm using it. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another edition of the Alpha Geek Podcast, where we embrace our geekdom and respects everyone else's. This is your boy Antoine, the Juggernaut. Brett here with my homeboy Taras. What's up, Taras? How you feeling, man?
Good, man. Good. We're just getting ready for some surgery coming up. Yes. So a little bit stressing out about that, but other than that, all good.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Like we were just talking about how the podcast is kind of doing this thing. Thank you very much, everyone out there who's subscribing on all platforms: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast. And as soon as we start to see that climb, we're both going to be out. We're going to be laid up. I'm having neck surgery. He's having hip surgery. It's like we're going to be two just old, just frail ass motherfuckers. Well, this is number 2 for both of us.
Yeah.
How long ago did you have your first?
I had my left hip done in 2019. And then where are we? 2023
23.
Yeah.
So 4 years span.
Years, yeah.
So I had my first one in 2010. Ooh. And had lower back done in 2010, and now they're gonna do the cervical fuse C2 through C4. So I was still fighting. I went to 2 orthopedists first, and both orthopedists get it fused, and by fusing that lower back, those discs in the lower back, it would have put a nix on the fight career. And that's when I was just kind of hitting my stride. That was that before the Ultimate Fighter? I think that was after the Ultimate Fighter, but have went on another huge winning streak. Everything was looking up, sponsorships and everything is happening the way it's supposed to be happening. So it was a heartbreaker. I think I might have to finish it off then. But I found a neurologist in the area, Dr. David Vincent. If you need a neurologist, that is the dude. I'm serious. He works on fights. He worked on multiple fighters besides me, and he was like, "Don't get your back fused. We can fix it. It won't be 100%, but it'll help you continue to do what you're doing now." And it was outpatient. I was home the same day, walking the same day, training 3 weeks later, and rock solid.
Dang,
for sure.
So I want to give out shout out to Dr. Dowd from Jordan Young Institute, where he's supposed to be the leading hip surgeon and one of the best. And what makes somebody the best? They do the most.
Yes.
So he's got
absolutely
the most. But when I had my first one done, I didn't realize, I thought I was laid up longer, but it was like after 4 weeks, I was back in the studio, not really teaching. And then 6 weeks, I was starting to teach again.
Really?
And this is a total hip replacement of having done. So I didn't realize it was that quick of a recovery. But it's still scary as hell.
No, it is. It is. And David Vincent is with Jordan Young as well. So I guess, his long story short, go to Jordan Young Institute. No, they're awesome. Yeah. And Dr. Vincent is the neurologist that writes papers for other neurologists to follow. He's one of the authorities in the area. So, and he's just a super sweet guy. He has a great bedside manner, and which means a lot, man. Yeah. When you got somebody going in and hacking on you, you want to feel good about that person. And I get it. Some doctors, they're just desensitized by it. They see it every day, and it turns into just this kind of mechanical response. Is I got you, but it just is what it is. And the inflection kind of helps when you know that you're going to, especially you're going under, somebody's cutting on you. So that means a lot. Dr. Vincent is the nicest motherfucker you've ever met,
Nice.
dude. He meets you with he greets you with a smile. He kept up with my fight career after. Like, he's like, oh, I saw your fight on the blah, 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 or this. And, when I came in, he's like, I heard you got a cookie company now.
Oh,
like,
nice.
He's one of those people that just, he cares. And if he doesn't care, he gives a great illusion that he cares.
Right.
So, that dude's awesome. I love that dude. So.
It's crazy. Like Dr. Dowd, he does I don't know if he does 3 hip replacements a day. And I think he only does a day. He doesn't do them every day of the week. I think it's like Tuesday, Wednesday are his 2 days. But 2 to 3 times a day, 2 days, 52 weeks out of the year, like whatever the math is. I mean, how many hundreds and thousands of hips has he done over his career? And and talking about that bedside manner, or remembering, I saw Dr. Dowd at Harris Teeter just walking at 2020, during COVID, all that. And he was just like, what is all this? But anyway, I was like, hey doc. And he looked right at me. It took him a second. And he was like, what's up, Taras? How you doing? How's the hip? I see you walking around.
Man.
I was like, wow.
That's awesome.
So that's awesome. So yeah, speaking highly of Jordan Young, they're very great bedside manner, great professionalism. Awesome.
Absolutely. Now, do you think that do you think there's a benefit in someone who does those surgeries back to back like that? Because they have to be good at it, right?
Right.
Or do you feel like they start to get numb to the process and, stuff starts to fall through the cracks?
Yeah, that was one of the things I was freaking out about is it's just another day and be like, meh, it's not a big deal. Do you start getting, like you said, desensitized?
Right.
Speaking to a nurse in the operating room that works with him, he doesn't miss a thing.
Really?
So he's one of those guys and that's probably why he's the best. He knows what he's doing. He takes it seriously. I haven't heard any bad things. A buddy of mine had his hip done. He's still up in Rochester, New York. And he was in excruciating pain. He had to get it redone. It actually splintered his femur. He had all sorts of problems and complications. And I was like, oh, dude.
It just sounds fucking painful.
Dude, seriously.
That sounds painful,
it was so bad, so bad. So, Nick, I'm sorry, bro. Hope it's better.
Me too, Nick. Jesus. No, that's, those things. Can you imagine if you were growing up in the 1920s? If they had surgery they were just stick a hook in you and pull something out. Hopefully it was the right thing.
Oh, man.
It's crazy, man. And the level of technology that we have now, just the fact that I'm going in for a neck surgery and it's outpatient. He's like, it was a 45-minute surgery. You'll be home the same day. I'll be home before lunch. It's crazy. Seriously, my surgery will be done. I'll be ready to go home before lunch.
Dang. Do you have a time for your surgery? Is it
5:45
in the morning?
AM. Yep, it's gonna be a rough one.
Yeah.
Getting up. Getting up for it. I'm not an early riser, but no, I'm optimistic about it, and it's gonna allow me to continue to do what I'm doing as far as sparring and training and stuff like that, and it's gonna make the neck kind of rock solid. So
yeah. How did you what was the indicator that you needed to get done? Was it because I remember you mentioned something that you were sparring and then it kind of...
Yep. I was sparring with some guys over at a gym in the area, and they were everybody was respectful. Everybody was, going light enough. And the guy was sparring with, he caught me with a jab. It was a good jab, but not a hard jab. It wasn't even something that I overly that's caught me, but it caught me well enough to where it, made my neck kind of snap. And when it did that, my whole left side went numb. My left leg went dead. I couldn't pick it up. My left arm dropped, and it was like that for 10. I'm like, holy shit! I had nothing like that had ever happened to me before, and they gave me some aspirin and water and shit. And I'm like, let me just go ahead and chill for the rest of the day. Well, I have a buddy who's a ER doctor. Called him up on the way home. It's like, hey, this happened. And the numbers, it only lasted for 10 seconds, And he was like, go in, get a scan, just make sure everything is cool. Sound like you might have pinched a nerve or pinched your spinal cord, which sounds scary in itself. And that's actually what I did. Dr. Vincent actually called me the next day when he got reports from the emergency room. And he was like, come in right now. He scheduled the surgery right then and there. He's like, we're going to get more scans on you, do get MRI and everything done. But yeah, this is happening. And he was like, you can leave it, but don't do anything that you're doing right now. And it's just going to get worse as the disc starts to herniate more. It's just going to get worse. So get it fixed.
Was this an injury that was a sudden onset, like from that jab, or was this something that was kind of already there and it needed to be eventually taken care of?
It was kind of already there. I've always had like little, between the shoulder blades, had little pain. Nothing like this, but, and I just chalked it up as, the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
You do what I do, what I've done for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Even before that, wrestling in high school and college, people pulling on your neck, and you just chalk it up to, just things that happen. And so I did a great job of ignoring it. And no, it was something that it needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. It was when I had my left hip done. So when I got my x-rays, Dr. Dow looked at both of them and he's like, take your pick. Which one do you want to start with? And I was like,
both of these motherfuckers. Yeah. I'm gonna put you on wheels.
But so I was like, okay, which one looks worse? And he's like, probably the left one. You got bone spurs. It's misshapen. It's all kind of jacked up. But so as soon as I got the left one done and recovered from that, the right one immediately stopped hurting for about a year. Now, nothing changed. If anything, it just got worse and worse and worse. I was like, why did all of a sudden my right one feel better, even though the problem was still there? And I guess it was just because now my left hip could compensate for my right one. But man, like last year, all of a sudden I was like, I can't do anything anymore. I can't take a side step. I can't take a forward gliding step. It was just like,
jeez,
I can't walk anymore. And then I went back to Dr. Dow and he was like, so you ready now? And I'm like, yeah.
He knew it was up.
Yeah.
But yeah, just, we get old, man. And, it's just one of those things. We gotta take it right now. We gotta take care of our bodies. And when I was younger, especially when I was fighting, I noticed how older dudes would just like take care of themselves really well.
Yeah.
It's like, man, why are you doing all that shit? You old, man.
Yeah.
Why you doing? But you have to. Yeah. You have. Now I understand.
Oh, so we have a student. I'll drop his name, Dr. Bill Marshall. So he might be around the same age or maybe a little older. But he's like, man, you got to watch what you eat. And he's in great shape. He's like, you got to watch what you eat. You got to watch what you do. You got to stay active. And he's like, so, because I was asking him, I was like, how are you look so good? And that's what it is. Yeah. He's like, I don't eat. He's like, I'm starving all the time.
No, that is true, man. And there's so much shit in our food too, all the hormones that go in our meat and stuff like that. And you can believe in it or not. You can chalk it up to what you want to, but there's definitely things in our food that, especially meat, that causes negative effects on our body. It just is what it is. So if you are a huge meat eater, enjoy it, but just know that that's a thing, like all the people who are doing like the paleo diet, or not paleo, like the carnivore diet, and even paleo and stuff. If you're doing it improperly, then like having all that meat in your diet is just, I know some people who are doing a carnivore diet and they just eat fucking sausages and steak and like back to back. I'm like, does that sound like it's good for you?
Yeah.
Like, well, carnivore says it'll be fine. And okay. All right.
Yeah. I have a student, her name's Amber, and she is a dietitian. And I'll always on lesson, I'll be like, hey, Amber, I heard about this thing. I heard about this diet. And she just always rolls her eyes. And she's like, man, she's just like, just eat normal, but just watch what you eat and control portions. And, but it's funny. I was like, Amber, if you're watching this, thanks for your advice.
Yeah. Everything in moderation, including moderation, right?
Yeah.
Just, you don't need to gorge yourself on anything, right? No. And that's, I think, as a society, that's kind of what we become accustomed to. It's like, well, we're gonna go and have wine and we're gonna eat an entire pizza. And I'm the last one that can talk because I love food and I eat and I do all those things. But I'm super active, and I try to give myself controls throughout the week. Like I don't eat bad during the week. Once Friday hits, all right, okay, I can have a little something. Saturday hits, okay, I can have a little something more. Yeah. Sunday hits, oh shit, the Packers are playing, let's go. Let's get some wings. And then Monday, it's back to normal. And now I understand that a lot of people can't do that because it's a slippery slope. It's like you have something bad on Sunday, those insulin levels are still spiked, you're still craving those things. So then Monday you have a little something you're not supposed to, and then Tuesday, and then it's by Wednesday or Thursday is when you finally start to feel like, okay, I'm back on track, and then the weekend hits again. Yeah. You know, so yeah, I get that. It's just, it works best for me. It has been working. I think it just comes from the fighting and just setting those controls for myself, and I've been doing it for so long. It's just organic. Yeah.
I was watching, again, a Joe Rogan podcast where he was talking to a trainer, and the guy he was training who was in jail, I don't know if you ever saw this episode, I don't remember their names, but they were talking about diet and fighters' diets. And he's like, fighters don't drink, they don't party, they don't, I know, I may be wrong in this, but if you're getting ready for a fight, you have to really watch what you do.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, I mean, when I was fighting, this is when it's because there's levels to it. You know, if you're still like working a 9-to-5 job and you start fighting, but you haven't made enough money to quit working, and then it's a little bit different because you're eating the way the family eats for the most part. But when you get to the point where it's a career and you're making money and you're making enough money to sustain yourself, and that's what you're doing, nope, none of that shit. Yeah. If I wasn't in a fight camp, it was a little bit different. If I was training every day, I was able to maintain weight, I would go out. Monday night was Monday night. It was amateur night at Ocean's Cabaret. Oh. Tuesday night, I would probably chill on Tuesday night. Wednesday night was ladies' night at venue. Thursday night was ladies' night at Crocs. Friday night, we're just going to every bar, Norfolk or Granby Street. Saturday, Virginia Beach. Sunday, if it wasn't football season, I was going out. And then Monday, do it again.
Damn.
Fight camp hit, cut all that shit out. Yeah. No drinking, ate meat and vegetables, chicken, rice, veggies, every meal. It was because I know I had to do that in order to earn that. Yeah. You know? And as soon as fight was over, I beat somebody's ass. All right, we going to the club. We going to Sizzler.
Did you feel hungry all the time too?
No, I actually didn't, man. I think my day was so bogged down with things that I had to do that it was hard to feel hungry. I would get up, have breakfast, usually egg whites and a bagel, or egg whites and an English muffin, maybe some turkey bacon, go train for 2 hours, go run errands, take a nap, then go back and train for another 2 to 3 hours, go home, go for a 5-mile run. By that time, it's 10, 11 o'clock, go to bed, rinse and repeat.
Wow. Well, wow. That is filled. Yeah. Did you, just going back to having the egg whites, did you ever try doing the whole Rocky thing with raw eggs and put them in a glass? I
did it once.
You did?
I was like, this is dumb shit. I did it once. Just because you saw Rocky do it. Yeah. Like, fighters are idiots, right? We're dumb as shit, and if a group of people say this is cool and other fighters are doing it, we'll probably try it at least once. Yeah. And plus, we're young, we're kids, we're in our 20s, so it's like we're dumbasses. That's hilarious. So I did the whole egg in the glass and just choke it down. Shit was disgusting. Every diet that you can think of, I tried it. Tried the paleo, the keto, the carnivore, everything. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. My brother, when we were growing up, he wanted to be a bodybuilder, and he loved Arnold Schwarzenegger. Mm-hmm. And when we saw the movie Rocky, he tried the egg thing. And I was like, he's like, you gotta try it with me. Now he's like 5 or 6 years older than me. I'm like, I can't remember, I was like 13 or whatever. I'm like, hell no.
That shit does absolutely nothing. It just takes the enjoyment out of eating an egg.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
The only thing that it does.
Yeah, so crazy. But
salmonella. It does salmonella.
Did you, so after getting ready for this second surgery, since I went through it once before, I kind of geeked out about learning what the doctor has to do and what I'm going to go through with that surgery. Did you ever investigate what the process is like?
I do not want to see it. I have zero desire to go and see somebody, what it's going to look like when somebody's hacking into my neck.
Yeah.
Absolutely not, dude.
Yeah.
That's the people who go on and like WebMD shit.
Yep.
They that's you? Is that you? No way.
I did. I went on and I did a YouTube search of what it's like, and recommendation: don't do it.
Don't do it, dude. You're just setting yourself up for failure because there's nothing you can do. But then you just see all the bad shit that could, because you're gonna go down a rabbit hole, and you're gonna see all the like hip surgeries going wrong. You could be walking with a fucking bad grandma and gimp for her. Like, this shit is not just. I can't do it.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
I'll tell you though, like, mad respect to surgeons, like especially orthopedic guys. Like, that is they're hammering away and sawing away. Like, I know, like, I'm out, so I'm not gonna remember anything and know anything. And like, but I told Wendy, I was like, I had to do research on it. It's like I watch. Because you could see anything now, whether it's on YouTube or Twitter or whatever. Like, you could find anything.
No way, man.
And like, I made the mistake. Don't do it. Don't do it. Do yourselves a favor.
That's the worst. That's the worst thing you can do.
I know.
It is. It is. Man, I have one client. Her name's Jen. I love her to death. One of my best friends. And she'll get a cough and she'll go on WebMD, and the next day she has the bubonic plague. Seriously, like what the fuck is wrong with you? It could be any little thing. I think I got scabies. Well, no, you got a mosquito bite. That's what happened. No, and some people are just like that. Too. Like I stay far away from it. In my head, there's nothing I can do about it. So just hope for the best. And let the professionals do their thing.
Yeah. It's like we'll tell people when they want to come in. I'm sure this is with boxing and fighting and MMA too. It's like you get on YouTube, you think you can learn something. You think you're going to actually walk away with something. They're like, I've been watching these salsa steps on YouTube. I'm like, oh, no.
Okay. Going to the hospital, walking in the surgery room. Like, I got it, guys. I saw it. I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
No way. I don't want to see it. I want to be, just put me to sleep, fix it, wake me up, kick me out the door.
Yeah. Oh man. So anyway, we were talking earlier too about some movie previews, and we're a little in not disagreement, but we're split on the Ghostbusters thing. We are. So the majority of the internet is not as enthusiastic as you are about this, about the movie. I love the last one. Was it Afterlife? Ghostbusters Afterlife. I love that one. And this is a sequel of that movie. Like the cast, I don't like the whole ice thing in New York City. Like, it's always cold in New York City, isn't it? Like, it's hard to tell from a teaser trailer. Yeah. I hope the coming trailers are better and give you a little bit better overview of what the movie actually is going to be. But based on this trailer, not excited, man. I'm all about just fact that Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray and they're back on it. So the nostalgia portion of it is. That's where they get me. Dude, you're an 80s baby through and through, right? Anything with an 8 in front of it, you're all about it, man. It could be the biggest piece of shit. And if it was made in the 80s, you're like, oh, give it a shot. Yeah. Like, I listen, like, when I get in the car, turn on the XM radio, 80 station. 80s and 90s. Now, I will agree, though, that as far as music that invoke some sort of emotional response. Nothing better than music from the 80s. Yeah, for sure. You just start listening to the fucking 16 Candle soundtrack, and you just go off. Like any 80s, like whether it's rock, R&B, pop, modern, new age, like all of it. There's a time in your life where you heard it at that age, and you're like, I remember that. I love it. And like, I listen to music today, and going back to like Taylor Swift, is that like, that's what kids are going to be like thinking about when they hear that. I'm like, is it that great of music? I don't know. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's different from what we're used to, because I'm an 80s baby too. So it is different from what we're used to. I think it's the same thing where we listen to music in the 80s, your parents or grandparents be like,
bullshit is this you're listening to? But if you had to pick just a band from the 80s. Now, we all know that there's outliers. There's a Michael Jackson and the Princes and shit like that. Madonna. But if you had to pick a band that you could bring back, or a band that you feel like their shit still holds up today, who would it be?
Def Leppard.
Def Leppard, really?
Yeah, no doubt. Yes. That was my band. That is what I had. Def Leppard T-shirts. I still listen to them. Yeah. That was.
Leppard is timeless, though.
It is timeless, and their songs, even like in my band, we have a band that have a bunch of franchisees in Chicago and California and in Texas. We gig every once a year or once every other year, but we got Def Leppard songs on the playlist.
Really?
So, yeah, we got to. Girls go crazy over that.
Yeah.
So same question back to you.
Oh, Queen, for sure.
Oh,
Queen.
Wow.
Yes, absolutely. Queen never made a bad song.
No.
Not one bad song. Even their later stuff that people weren't really jiving with. Queen is, I mean, when you think about a lead, and I think even though he's not underrated, I think Freddie Mercury is probably one of the most underrated frontmen ever in rock. So yeah, man.
Yeah, Freddie Mercury. Did you see? I can't remember, Queen, the movie.
Oh yeah,
it was awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing, and I mean that dude was just like the charisma was just like unparalleled. I mean, and you had the bands, you had, like the U2s and the AC/DCs and other bands from the time where the front man was obviously, he was like kind of front and center, but the band was a whole. The band made each other. You couldn't have one component without the other component.
Yeah.
I feel like Freddie Mercury could have went anywhere and he would have made another group of guys just as successful.
Yeah. Oh God, I just forgot the guitar player's name. I actually met the guitar player because I used to work at a music store, House of Guitars, and when he came out with his signature guitar, somebody write in the comments what his name is. But I don't know. Like, I don't know if Freddie Mercury could have made it with any other group of guys, because his creative side, you need to be able to accept that and work with it, and he needs to respect you, like the guitar player, or because the bass player also wrote a lot of music.
He did write a lot of music, and now that I'm thinking about it, and I remember seeing the movie, I take that back. Yeah, I will take that back. There was the band chemistry is the most important thing.
It really is.
But Freddie was a monster.
Oh, he was a monster. He was it's too bad that he didn't get so much anymore. Like everyone, like you said, everyone remembers Michael Jackson and Prince, but Freddie Mercury, man, he was like, his star burnt out too soon, for sure.
Do you was there ever any I'm gonna say threat, for lack of a better word, but did he ever want to go solo? I know he did like the solo album later on, but I think but then Queen ended up coming back together. Do you think he would have been a successful single solo artist?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so. I think he wouldn't be able to find, like you said, the band was everything. The band supports that singer, and to find other guys, because other guys would be like studio musicians, and I'm no professional. I'm not in a great band, but I've seen a lot of bands come and go. And like, if you're not a solo artist from the get-go, like David Bowie didn't matter who he had, he's going to make great music. But Queen made Freddie Mercury. And so if he went solo, you would just lose that. Like, who's that? Peter Gabriel. Peter Gabriel, he was amazing too. But like Genesis, when Genesis broke apart, like, I don't know if some of the music wasn't as good. I don't know if that's accurate.
But then you look at like George Michael, Wham, and George Michael. I mean, that was that was a great move. Yeah, that was a great move for him. Yeah, but I don't know, like bands, like rock bands, because Queen was a rock band. So like, what rock singer ever went solo and succeeded? Shit, definitely not Axl Rose. No, hell no. Shit, that's a good question. In the comments, y'all. Yeah. Especially from that era. Yeah. A solo, the front man of a rock band, or front woman. from Styx. Shit.
You got me on that one.
Why am I forgetting her name?
It's worth a Google.
No, Jamie will kick my ass right now.
No.
Oh man. But she went solo, and she was very and still is very successful. Shit, why am I forgetting her name?
Okay, so while I'm looking that up, R&B bands that broke up, a lot of those guys were able to, and girls were able to make it good solo careers.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is because the music is different. You know, the like when you think about a Boyz II Men. Boyz II Men was probably one of the only groups that couldn't have went. None of those, like Wanye Moore, I think his first name is. Anyway, the two best singers, Boyz II Men, right? They both tried to go solo, and then they end up coming back because their chemistry was better together.
Yeah.
Other than that, anyone else, like R&B is just, you just feel it. It's like love making music. You get another set of background singers, and you're good to go. You know.
Yeah, like I remember when Boyz II Men came out, and I was like, I'm a metalhead, like, but when Boyz II Men came out and Shy, I was like, that song, I went, that was like the birth of R&B. Yeah.
When you like modern day R&B, and everybody was like going at each other. You had Boyz II Men, you had Jodeci, you had Shy, you had Drew Hill. Yeah, I mean, you had just like a bunch of Jagged Edge. You had a bunch of killers that were kind of trying to get the same nut. They're trying to be in the same pool, and they were fighting each other. I remember watching a documentary about Jodeci, and they're just hanging out in their apartment, whatever, and someone calls Casey's, one of Casey's friends calls them and say, hey, I listened to your new song. This sounds good, man. You sound good. He's like, what the fuck? We don't have a new song.
Oh no.
He turns on the radio and it's a Drew Hill song, Someone Sleeping in My Bed. But Cisco sounded so much like KC sounded.
Wow.
Everyone thought it was Jodeci.
Dang.
You know? And then Drew Hill went on to be huge for a little while. Drew Hill's actually one of my favorite bands.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, that just, and because they do everything, they were just awesome. I don't know what it was about that band in particular, but they crushed it. They made a bunch of dope music.
Was there ever a song that came on the radio, and the first time you heard it, were like, oh damn, this is like amazing?
Honestly, this is gonna be a weird answer, but the first time I heard Pillow Talk from Zayn, I was like, oh shit, this is a dope fucking song.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if he wrote it or whoever wrote that song, but he was just talking about the comparisons, how like making love can be violent, and you know, going back and forth between the violent aspect and then the actual the love making aspect of it. And it was a dope fucking song.
Okay.
So Zayn, I think back then it was like we grew up in the MTV era, and so a song was okay until you saw the video. Yep. When you saw the video, like, oh shit, this song is cool as shit. So yeah.
Mine was, and I just literally just forgot the name of the song, but DMX. I remember I was driving, and I heard what was his famous song that he had that came out?
Well, Party Up, y'all gonna make me.
Yeah. Dude, I heard that and I was like, what?
Yo, D would get the crowd hype. Like there was at the time when DMX was in his prime, there was nobody touching DMX. Nope. He would go out and he would just like, and then he would do like a Bible verse, and he'll go back to rapping. Like DMX was the man. Dude.
That was the craziest thing that I didn't realize until after he died that he was like, I don't know if he was Christian, but he was very religious.
Oh yeah, super religious. Yeah. DMX was super religious, man, and he. It was that whole situation was sad. You know, when they started to shed light on his life and how his relationship with his older children and things like that. It was just sad. He was definitely, he had demons for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but it reflected in the music. Like all those artists that have issues, they make the best music, right? Everybody that's crazy. Nobody who's sane and level-headed and they make good music. They don't do anything great.
What about Taylor Swift?
Case in point. Case in fucking point. We all know Tay crazy, but
Yeah.
it's all good.
Okay, so another question. First concert.
My first concert, oh shit, I remember this one. Me and my buddies, Alex, we went to a concert down in North Carolina on the campus of Elizabeth City State University. And we saw Busta Rhymes, Nas, and Monifa.
Wow.
Yeah, it was an awesome concert. And I've been to multiple Busta Rhymes concerts, and crowd engagement, there's nobody better than Bus.
Wow.
Nobody better than Bus. He gets the crowd into it. They know all the songs. If they don't know the song, he finds a way to incorporate the crowd by talking to in particular people in the crowd or something to get some sort of crowd engagement. But yeah, Bus, and then Nas, of course, you know.
Wow.
Now, that was right around the time where he was coming off. It was written his second album, and in my opinion, his best album. And I mean, it was awesome. It was a dope show. That was my first concert.
Wow. My first concert I ever went to. Now this is when I was working at House Guitars. We had to deliver guitars backstage to this band. No. Actually, this is a different one. My first concert was Smashing Pumpkins, Pearl Jam, and Live. They were touring together, and Pearl Jam was the opening band.
Pearl Jam was opening for Smashing Pumpkins. Yeah, really? What year was this?
It was like 91, 92.
Shit.
I think it's just when 10 first dropped, and it didn't. So they were touring that first album, and then they exploded after that. But Smashing Pumpkins was already kind of had some momentum. So because I had to work, so I got out of work like at 9, and we raced over to the show, and we just missed Pearl Jam. I was so pissed because that's all I wanted to see. I walked out of Smashing Pumpkins. It was so disappointing. I was like, man, they suck. And like anybody who loves like Billy Corgan and all that, they're going to be like hating me on right now. But I'm sorry, but they were disappointing. But
yeah, I've never been to. I'm not a huge live music person. Let me take that back. I love live music, but I pick and choose people who I actually pay that much money. Like I don't want to pay $150 and sit in the nosebleeds. I want to be in it, you know? Yeah. And I'm only willing to pay that type of money for a certain number of people. Coldplay.
Oh. I
want to see Coldplay live. Jay-Z live.
Yeah.
And with or without Beyonce, I prefer without Beyonce. Ooh. But I want to see like whole shit. I want to see like that side B, the obscure hits that a lot of people don't know about from Reasonable Doubt and the Blue, like that shit. Alicia Keys. Love Alicia Keys.
That, yeah.
I did see her back in 07, 08. And at the Hampton Coliseum, she was amazing. I felt like she was singing to me.
Wow.
Really, she just has that stage presence, and it sounds like it makes you feel like she's singing to you. She's awesome. So
did you lock eyes? Is that really what happened? Like,
no, we didn't lock eyes. I was trying. I was staring at her hard as shit. I was like, look at me. No. But yeah, that show was an awesome show. We just did a show. I saw Stapleton. Stapleton was a good show. Brothers Osborne, Stapleton. Actually, a couple of years ago, and I went to TLC, Flo Rida, and Nelly. And we saw Flo Rida open. TLC came out, and then it was they called it for rain, so we didn't get to see Nelly. I've never been so fucking happy. I have zero desire to see Nelly in concert, but you know. But while I shit on Nelly does have some jams though. Yeah. So you got to give credit where credit is due. He just never like I was like a hip hop head. You know, we listened to Wu-Tang and it was like Nelly, Jay-Z, Wu-Tang, Biggie, and Nelly was like the watered down version of that.
Yeah.
At the time. So,
did you ever jam to PM Dawn?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, dude. That was my second album that I ever bought for myself. It was Set Adrift by PM Dawn, the single.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't afford the whole shit. Wow. Yeah, that's my shit.
Yeah. Wendy, when Keith Urban came to Virginia Beach, she wanted to go see that. And I was like, I wasn't a Keith Urban fan at the time. And I like country, but I was like, Keith Urban's not really country. Man, dude, that show was amazing. Best show I think I've ever been to. And I've been to a lot of concerts, Aerosmith, Metallica, Def Leppard several times, a bunch of them. Iron Maiden wasn't very good. Actually, no, they were really good. Who wasn't good? I can't remember. But anyway, Keith Urban, going back to the band, like Keith Urban's a solo artist, but what was amazing is his whole band was so tight and they all could sing. And I mean, I don't know if you're a Keith Urban fan, but man, if he ever comes to town, oh dude, go see it. Cause it's like the whole entire experience, the music, you'll appreciate the music that much more. The musicianship, the other guitar player, the bass player, the drummers, I mean, they were all tight, like really tight and entertaining. And going back to like Brothers Osborne and Chris Stapleton, like Chris Stapleton, amazing singer, right? Not a great showman.
No, he's not. I think I don't even really classify him as country. I would say if he was an artist in the 60s, 70s, he would definitely be a blues more,
for sure.
Blues, Is that what Keith Urban?
Keith Urban's more pop. I mean, it's more pop country, but what he can actually do and play, like he's an amazing player, and he's who's the other guy? There's a bunch of like singers who are underrated guitar players that are just like freaking brilliant. It just escaped me, but anyway, but he's just an overall like an amazing musician, like Prince. Like Prince was like, man, he could do anything. Yeah, Keith Urban's one of those guys.
Man, Keith Urban, all right.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I mean, I'm at the stage in my life where I just want to do cool shit.
Yeah.
Concerts, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's why I actually went to see Stapleton, because people were like, if you want to kind of like dip your toe in country, do like a Stapleton. Yep. He's more, and I like his music is amazing, and it's very bluesy. You just, grab a cigar, glass of wine, and you can just listen, just sit back and listen. So,
and Brothers Osborne, like they're
for sure,
their vocals, they're playing, they're more bluesy rock, country kind of crossover. But
just cool, man.
So I know we're not segueing to Whip of a Week, but it just made me think of our last episode. We talked about the BMW, the M3.
Yeah.
On my way here, I drove by a BMW i8.
Oh yeah,
the electric.
Yeah. Those things are cool as shit.
It's so cool.
That's cool as shit, man. I'm still having a hard time getting behind the electric thing. Yeah. But the i8s are cool looking cars, man.
Yeah.
And when did they debut that car? It's been a while.
It's been a while. Yeah, it came out. I remember the first time we were in New York City for a competition or whatever, and we're walking around, and I just see this crazy looking BMW. I'm like, what the hell is that? It was that's what it was. Yeah, it was pretty wild.
The i8s, man. Yeah, or just the BMW in general, man. You fucking
favorite. If you could have, what would be your most favorite? So if it was like BMW, Audi, Mercedes, like of that style car, what's your brand?
I would have to go. Oh man, see my knee jerk was Beamer. Yeah, I have to go with BMW because they just make everything they make is just really rock solid. Yeah, I have to go with Beamer. Everyone kind of complains about the maintenance cost of the Audis. And Audi, BMW, but it's like BMW is the illusion of money. Even if you don't have shit, if you have a BMW, people think you have money, right? You can buy a Mercedes C whatever, and that's like buying a Honda Accord at this point. Like anybody can grab one of those, right? I don't know what it is. It's like, and I feel like the majority of people will, especially in this area, will say the same thing. Like BMW, if you got a Beamer, then you're doing something.
Yeah.
You're doing something. And like a high-end car is a high-end car no matter what it is. So the premium version of all of those are expensive and dope as shit. But I think, you can go and buy yourself a 2017, 5 Series Beamer, and people think you got cash.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's probably that.
What do you think of personalities that drive certain cars? BMW drivers versus Mercedes versus Porsche versus Audi.
Oh yeah, well, so the BMW driver, I feel like the BMW driver is more like authentic. They like driving the car because it's a cool looking car, and you're gonna get you get what you pay for, right?
Yeah.
I feel like Mercedes drivers are a little bit more pretentious, and they like want to be seen in a Mercedes, like the Mercedes. And the Audi drivers are people who generally love to drive.
Yeah.
Like an Audi, if you're like, the maintenance cost is shit. You know that this thing's might be in the shop half the time, but it's an Audi and it's an enjoyable driving experience. Same thing with the Porsche.
Yeah.
Porsche is an enjoyable driving experience. So, like if you gave somebody who's never had money and you gave them a winning lottery ticket and they won, $20 million bucks, no, not 20 million, let's say $1 million bucks, and they're gonna buy a nice car, they're either gonna buy a Mercedes or a BMW.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because those are what we associate wealth with in America, right? So
Do you think it's more like, I agree, but I feel like those two cars also are more wealthy, practical cars, whereas Porsches aren't practical.
Yeah, no, not by any stretch.
Yeah.
But
the Panamera, or was it Panamera?
But even the Panamera's not practical. Like if you're gonna get a four door car, why buy a Porsche?
Yeah.
You can get a Toyota Camry, and I would probably say BMW or Mercedes. Those are like the big two.
Yeah.
Those are the big two. No matter what background you come from, nationality, lower, middle, upper class, no matter what, you recognize those two brands as like the standard.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah. I saw also that Porsche, I think, is coming out with a rally car, or
really?
a street, like a production version of a rally car, I think. So
really,
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, dude, the horsepower wars are in full effect again, man. It's like everybody's trying to keep up with the Joneses with power right now, and so you in the 70s, 60s, and 70s, that's what it was. It's like horsepower, and then gas started to go up, and you go to the 80s, everything was just like toned down. Mustangs were pieces of shit. They made it was 6-cylinder Mustangs. They got like no horsepower. Corvette making 170 horses, shit like that. And now I think the horsepower wars are like back in full effect. Even electric vehicles are like generating so much power.
Yeah. Did you ever have, like, Wendy and I, when we're driving around, we'll look at old cars. Do you feel like, what's your favorite decade or era style wise?
60s for sure.
60s
for sure. The 60s Lincoln Continental, like the suicide doors, and the big long car Cadillac 67 Coupe de Ville, Sedan de Ville, shit like that. Those are my jams, man.
Yeah.
Like, and you put a 6.2 liter V8 in that car. It's a big car, but it'll move.
Yeah.
And then you can't go wrong with all the sports stuff, the SS's and the Mustangs.
Oh, yeah. That's man. Like, those are most highly sought after. Like, one of our other students, her husband owns a bike shop here locally. Premier Motorcycle Shop, I think. He bought his wife for his birthday a 60 first year original Mustang convertible. And I wanted to bring in a photo of, I took a bunch of photos on my phone, just to, maybe I'll put it in the description, but freaking beautiful, dude. Yeah, it's like classic.
They don't make cars like, they never will make cars like that again.
No,
like never. There is a company down in Florida that will take a old body and basically put it on top of a new chassis. Like they'll take a Challenger from the 60s and put it on top of all the guts of a new Challenger.
That's cool.
Yeah, just make it like super modernize it, new brakes, new motor, everything.
Yeah.
And so shit like that is cool.
Did you ever in school, and when I was in high school or middle school, I can't remember, but the teacher brought in a movie. It was about the Tucker, the old car in the 50s where so I love the old 50s style, like those engineers like that everything is like round and big
bubbly,
wings and bubbly. It's just like freaking awesome. And I think the Tucker was the first one where it had more safety features because it had a seat belt and it had the front light that would, when you turn the wheel, it would follow.
Oh shit, really? That's cool.
But like the big three, was it the big three? They put them out of business or whatever. But yeah. We when we drive around, we're just like, people don't design cars like that anymore. Especially in the 80s, everything was like a box.
They don't.
It was like terrible. But yeah.
Yeah, man. The Mercs, the 50 Mercury.
Yeah.
Those things are cool as shit. Nice, long, bubbly. Those rounded fenders and everything. Like those are cool cars, man. That stuff is beautiful.
Beautiful.
It's art.
It's all. It was art. Yeah.
Art.
It was all art, and it's like. I used to have a 74 Cadillac Eldorado, and the thing was like, it was kind of rectangular looking, but it still had some fins. And dude, when we would drive it, it was like a boat. You could feel it was like, oof. I mean, it was like so heavy, and it just.
So you were a pimp, is what you're saying,
dude? Yeah. Yeah, with my girl in the passenger seat, hair flowing. I'm like,
it was a cool ass cars.
Yeah,
Gator don't take no shit.
Oh my god.
Oh man. Yeah, man. We got some fights this weekend.
Yes,
and got some UFC 295, which is a modified card. You know, this was supposed to be the John Jones and Stipe card.
Oh, it was?
Yeah. John Jones ripped that pec, so he's out of commission. So they moved the Pereira fight up to the main event, and it's going to be a good fight. So I don't know what to think about it. Pereira is obviously he's still like an established striker. It could go either way. He got the guy he's fighting, I forgot how to pronounce his name. He's an up and comer. He's been doing big things in the UFC. So it should be a good fight. The fight I'm mostly excited about is the Mackenzie Dern and Jessica Andrade fight. That's the fight I want to see. So, let the ladies do them things, do their thing. Can you pronounce that?
Prohaska.
Damn, that was easier than I thought. I'm a fucking idiot.
Well, one of my side gigs is an MC, so I got to read those Eastern European names. Yeah, Sergey Pavlovich. I haven't heard about Pavlovich or Aspinall.
Yeah, that's. I mean, this is but remember, all these fights were supposed to be one fight down on the card.
Okay.
And now that John Jones and Stipe are off the card, everybody moves up. So
is John Jones, like, he hasn't fought in like forever?
He fought last year.
He did?
Yeah, he beat he won the heavyweight title.
Is that the one that was like under, like, people were like, no, he was doing like steroids or whatever, or is it?
Yeah, but he just fat, don't give a fuck anymore. He's big, and he did look uncomfortably big in that fight. That was his first heavyweight fight.
Okay.
And he did look uncomfortably big, like he was trying to be big.
Yeah.
But I think I saw him in some of the training videos. Now he definitely looks like he's a little bit smaller, but has, he's kind of like gotten comfortable with carrying that weight around. He moves way better than he did when he first put that weight on. So I think, us fat boys gotta learn how to move around. But yeah, he beat Cyril Gane for the title, and then they wanted to push him back for fight week for the Stipe fight, which it was supposed to happen, and my man got hurt. So
man,
that's what it is.
Man, I remember when he came out, when he started rising up, because he's originally from either Rochester, New York, or Buffalo.
Yeah.
I was like, we're like the same. He could do no wrong. I was like,
John Jones, except for all the cocaine and hookers and hitting women with his Corvette. Other than that, he can do no wrong.
He can do no wrong. Yeah. Oh man,
that dude again is like an example of somebody being their own worst enemy.
Yep.
But that dude is so talented. Goes back to it. The most talented people are people who are fucked up.
Yeah.
So
isn't his brother like in the NFL? Or
two of them.
Okay.
Two brothers are in the NFL, Super Bowl champs. That family just are like whatever the parents are doing. I mean, shit. Just keep at. Why'd you stop at 3? You should have 20 of them motherfuckers.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Man.
Yeah. Are you gonna watch the fight?
Hell yeah, I'm gonna watch it. We're gonna go. We're gonna see Captain Marvel at 5:30, I think, and then come home and watch some fights, man.
Right.
Watch some fights. This should be and then the Packers play tomorrow.
Oh.
Man, coming off a win. Go Pack, go. We gotta listen, we gotta do something. We gotta do something like Jordan Love. I still believe in Love. I still do, but we need to like rack off like 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 good wins. Because we got to win the NFC North. We have to win that division.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't think the wild card is going to come out of the NFC North. So I think we need to do some damage.
Yeah. Well, while you're watching football, I'll be at the Cavalier in the spa getting a massage.
Damn. So is that like an all-inclusive type of experience? Or it's like the manicure, pedicure, massage, all that shit?
I think so. Wendy's the one that is putting it together for me, and so it's our little anniversary weekend getaway. So I think we can get there as soon as the place opens, 10 o'clock. We get to enjoy the sauna and I hear it's amazing. I hear it's amazing. So I don't know. I don't do that stuff.
Yeah.
Do you get pedicures and manicures?
Hell yeah, dude.
Really?
Hell yeah, man. You gotta pay yourself.
Okay.
You gotta pay yourself, man.
Yeah.
I get a massage every other week. I get pedicures not so much, but manicures I'll go and get one every couple months. When Jamie's like, "Hey, you want to go get a man?" You're like, "Hell yeah, let's go." Okay. Do you care if getting a massage if a man massages you?
I do.
You do care.
I do. I can't do it. It has to be a girl.
Me too. Same.
Just kidding.
But so what is it? Do you just, all right, in your head, what is it?
Man hands. I can't
just
have man hands
on you.
Just, like cut me open, change, put in implants, dude. That's fine. But I don't know. There's something, and Wendy's the same way.
Really?
She just like something about like, and I did have, so I had 2 massages by guys. One of them was at a competition. This guy was amazing. But it wasn't like I was covered. And then the other one was not. That was like normal massage. I'm like, I just something.
Not your thing.
I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't blame you. I think you want to be, when you go get a massage, you want to be totally in your comfort zone.
Yep.
And having like a dude rub on you, there's not a homophobic bone in either of our bodies, but it's just, I think it's that comfort thing, man.
Yeah.
And I think Jamie prefers a woman as well. She might be lying to me though.
Yeah.
she might be lying.
but yeah, it's funny. Like, I mean, I teach dancing. I don't mind dancing with another guy, whether I'm leading him or following him. That there's no issue. But it's that the massage is something completely different.
No, I'm with you.
What about I used to make fun of my buddy in wrestling. I'm like, bro, you're rolling around with other guys. Come on. Is that?
It's different. It's competitive. It's like another sport.
But if you have there's photos and videos that people post of awkward positions, and you got some dudes privates in your face,
get better at it. Get better at it. Don't get in those positions. Fucking go train. Yeah, no. And this is one of those things to where as a young kid or a young boy, the majority of young men, when they get the ages of 17, 18, 19, whatever, they know who they are from a sexual standpoint. They know who they are. So, they don't really care. They look at it as but they're still juveniles in their head.
Yeah,
You know, it's like, I'm gonna teabag this motherfucker. You know, there's not a sexual component to it at all. They just are assholes.
Speaking of teabagging, it was so funny. Just
Speaking of teabagging,
going to the movie of New Guy, or not New Guy, Free Guy.
Okay.
Free Guy. Like one of the things in the background was somebody like teabagging. Like,
that part.
I was like, man, they caught it. That's awesome.
Dude,
Yeah, that was a weird segue. I was like, speaking of teabagging, like,
speaking of teabagging, I thought you were going to tell me a college story. So yeah, man.
Man.
Yeah. So like I just think, you know, in that environment, you want to be as comfortable as possible. And,
Yeah.
you know, there is a place. You ever been in one of the places that do just the knee down massages, like the reflexology? There's a place down on Lynn Haven that does it, and they only have male therapists.
oh, okay.
Yeah. I was like, nope.
Oh,
Nope.
really?
Let me-
Even that? Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I walked in and was like, nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Funny.
Call me back when you get some female massage therapists around here.
Yeah.
Is it disrespectful to call them masseuse?
I don't know.
Yeah, I got corrected one time.
Did? Oh.
Yeah, it's like I'm going to a masseuse, and the lady who I was talking to corrected me. It's like, it's massage therapist. I was like, is there a difference? Is there like a negative, like, is that a negative thing to call a massage therapist a masseuse? Let us know if you know, if you're a massage therapist in the area. Let us know. No, seriously, because it's like, it's funny because so my mom doesn't have a racist bone in her body, right? But as a sign of the times, when we talk about getting like food, or like Chinese people, she would say Oriental.
Oh.
And I first I laughed because, and she's like, "What are you laughing at?" I was like, there's no such thing as Oriental people. That's like a rug. But she didn't understand because she grew up in the 70s and 80s where that's what you would say. And I got to keep correcting her. I was like, there's no such thing as Oriental people, Mom. It's like, you stop saying this.
Yeah.
Stop. But she doesn't get it because she doesn't think that way. She doesn't think of it in like a racist way. She thinks of it like, well, that's what we just call, you know, Oriental people or Asian people. So that's one of the, is that like the same thing? Is it like a masseuse? I know it's not the same thing, obviously. I'm not an idiot. But, you know, when you talk about the modernization of a term that, as it describes a person in their profession, is masseuse just a no-no? Like
the term stewardess. Like, you don't use stewardess anymore. It's flight attendant.
Flight attendant. Yeah. Now, if you said stewardess, because stewardess, is that feminine automatically?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Steward, because you could call him a steward.
Yeah. Or,
Steward, stewardess.
Huh. Man.
You ever see those old movies with the flight attendant or the stewardesses following the pilot, and like they were all like these beautiful and like wearing these. When we go up to,
here we go. Let's hear this.
So when we go up to our regional meetings up in DC,
okay,
certain airlines stay at this hotel we stay at the Hilton McLean, and they're usually Asian Pacific Airlines, and they are, or maybe it was like a not Middle East. I can't remember. Well, even Lufthansa, like the European flight attendants, they're all like dressed up in these kind of like they're wearing heels and skirts and like kind of like back in like when it was in the 50s and 60s. So yeah, I don't know. There's glamorous. It was glamorous.
Yeah.
It was glamorous then. That's like kind of my point. And it's not really glamorous now.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. There are some airlines that I think want to keep that standard.
Yeah.
You know, like Virgin. Have you ever flown a Virgin?
Mm-mm.
Is Virgin still a thing? I'm not sure, but I flew on Virgin years ago, maybe like 2010, 12, something like that. And all of the flight attendants were gorgeous. Yeah. All of them. At least on my flight, there were no female flight attendants or no male flight attendants. Okay. And all of them were gorgeous. Yeah. It's like, is this?
Yeah, it's glamorous.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
Is this intentional?
that's my point. It was glamorous.
Do you feel better about the flight if the flight attendant is attractive?
No, it doesn't change it.
Doesn't change the thing, right?
No, because there's some like I just flew back from Vegas. My flight from Vegas to Charlotte. I was in coach, but I got an upgrade from Charlotte to Norfolk. So I got upgraded to first class, and it was a male flight attendant. He was awesome. He was funny.
Yeah.
He was on it. And honestly, at this point, I'd rather have like a big dude that's sitting at the front of the plane. So in case something
you never
happens.
know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Obviously I don't care what gender my flight attendant is, but I do hate when a flight attendant has a bad fucking attitude.
Oh yeah,
like they just in a bad mood. They might have been up. They going from city to city, and they just pissy, pissed off.
Yeah,
like look, keep that energy over there, man.
Yeah, yeah. One of my buddies, he was in. I think they went to Abu Dhabi or somewhere like one of the Saudi nations that was really amazing, and he's like, "You think we're like our airline transportation is like third world stuff compared to what's over there?" And I was like, seriously? He's like, oh yeah. He's like, they got it figured out.
Well, if you fly on Breeze Airlines, then you know what he's talking about. Fucking Breeze. What's the other one? And Spirit.
The Spirit.
God, dude, that was the worst.
Hope we make it.
I think you're okay if you're flying from like here, like regionally, from here to like Florida or Georgia, like that. Yeah. Don't try to cross the fucking country in that bitch.
Like, man, those flights are breaking out everywhere. Like, what is happening?
Like fire from the sky, Breeze Airlines. No shit. I'm just joking. Just joking, Breeze Airlines. Come get your ass. Wow. Yeah, man. No, but one thing I can say about Breeze, we did a couple of years ago. We went to a wedding down in New Orleans, and we flew Spirit, and the flight got canceled because a hurricane was coming. Our flight back got canceled because of a storm moving in, and they called. You get the text saying that blah blah blah, and they called us as well. By the time we hung up the phone, that money was back in our account.
Dang.
For the ticket.
Wow.
Yeah, that shit was quick. So then we had to try to find another flight out, and we had to actually drive to Alabama and fly out of Alabama because we couldn't get a flight out of New Orleans. So,
jeez, well, New Orleans.
So yeah, they give you money back real
that's
quick.
Good. That's good.
Oh man, so any parting words, man? I mean, we covered a lot today. I think between the Packers playing tomorrow, we got shit going on tonight, fights, movies, and then this is a Christmas holiday. You doing Christmas decorations yet?
Yeah, I did get all the Christmas stuff out of the storage unit.
I did too.
And Wendy's gonna be decorating while I'm laid up on the couch healing.
That sort of thing. Yeah, man. I remember when we used to when we were kids, we might have decorations up the first or second week of December.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Maybe. Yeah. Now it's like the day after Halloween, motherfuckers are putting shit up. God,
I wonder if it's changed over times, because it's like we kind of do the same thing. As soon as Halloween's over, we're like, oh sweet, let's and like stores now, like Halloween is not even happened yet, and Christmas stuff is out to buy.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. People are in love with the holidays.
Oh yeah,
they are in love with the fucking holidays, dude. They don't care. They get gifts, whatever. They just want to be in the holiday spirit. And it's really the best time of the year when you talk about people just being in a positive frame of mind, right? So more power. Get them decorations out, y'all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Spread some joy and fun.
Yeah. Spread some love. And if you do love cookies for your holidays, I used to like that segue. That was dope, right? Holiday cookies. You can get Juggernaut cookies at cookiehunk.com. We have our gluten-free protein cookies. Each cookie is 12 grams of proteins, gluten-free, kosher, non-GMO. And on top of that, it tastes fucking fantastic. You ever had a protein cookie where it tastes like chalk?
Sure have.
Just like nasty bullshit. Well, our cookie tastes the opposite of that. It's delicious. You'll love it. Use promo code CookieHunk, CookiePro20 to save 20% on your order at cookiehunk.com.
And make sure you go do that. And in case you want to just try one out, you can always swing by the Arthur Murray Dance Studio at Virginia Beach, Virginia, because we have those cookies available to buy. And then you can go online and order them for all your gift needs. And while you're here at the studio, you can buy yourselves either a gift certificate for yourselves to learn how to dance, or for yourself, or for somebody that you'd like to gift. So go visit at cutterug.net. Check us out online, or just swing by the studio and say hello. Cool.
Peace. See y'all later.